José Lerma is renowned for his distinctive painting style, in which he creates portraits without focusing on the details of the face. Through a combination of minimal strokes and rich textures, the artist presents a gallery of faces that encourage a deeper look at identity. In this show, we are offered an exploration of perception, identity, and the essence of human presence. Characterized by his voluminous impasto, his portraits uphold a sense of simplicity while maintaining a raw, elemental quality. Thick acrylic layers create a creamy frosting-like texture, drawing attention to the physicality of paint itself. José skillfully manipulates light and depth to imbue his subjects with a three-dimensional quality. In only a few swift strokes of paint, he captures his subjects, not their identities, in a signature, understated way. Inspiration ignited within José as he observed a painting of a crowd by artist Jean-Léon Gérôme, noting how figures in the background were depicted with mere brushstrokes, a revelation that encouraged him to experiment with similar techniques in his own art. Despite the abundance of paint used, his style demands that each brushstroke appears effortless, achieved through his own special mixture of paints and thickeners that José describes as sculptural in an interview with Juxtapose. He further explains his process in the interview. Pre-planning is key, beginning with sketches where he considers colors and compositions. Mixing his custom paint in buckets, he then applies it using altered brushes and brooms. Layers of paint are applied before they dry, creating outlines of the features. He adds more of his paint, extending his strokes all the way to the end of the canvas. Burlap serves as a support surface, enhancing the organic texture of his work. Through deliberate manipulation of scale and texture, these colorful portraits, with their subtle yet bold qualities, capture attention through their simplicity while also commanding attention with their scale and intensity. Those unfamiliar with the artist's work are introduced to new perspectives on space and volume. The exhibition challenges traditional ideas of painting portraits by focusing on the physical act of painting and abstract forms rather than realistic depictions. It's a bold and innovative approach that asks viewers to reconsider how they perceive and engage with depictions of people. By removing facial details, we explore identity beyond appearance, and we are left to question notions of what constitutes a portrait and to think beyond superficial appearances. José broadens his artistic scope by exploring large-scale compositions on polypropylene sheets, offering featureless portraits that take the form of drawings. These are adorned with geometric line patterns, showcasing structure and form. Allowing us to appreciate another dimension of José's skill in crafting impactful compositions. Rose Wylie is an artist who has carved her own unique path in the art world, gaining recognition later in life despite being relatively unknown for much of it. Rose herself attributes much of her success to the freedom she had to develop her art without the burden of early fame. This show is a window into her daily routine, offering us a glimpse into her life, garden, and the media she consumes. Through her paintings, the artist presents an unconventional perspective on the world, blending elements of the mundane with abstract reflections on visual representation. At first glance, Rose's art might appear simple, but upon closer inspection, it reveals thoughtful and complex reflections. She draws inspiration from sources as varied as observing people, the internet, movies, and books. She offers insights into the complexities of contemporary society, prompting us to reflect on our own relationships with media and material culture. The woman in the piece is a reality show actor in LA. Wylie delves into her fascination with confidence and outward appearances, asking us to question the messages conveyed by these depictions. Her artistic process is one of observation and transformation. She absorbs the colors, shapes, and emotions of the world around her, translating them onto the canvas. By revisiting certain themes throughout the exhibition, she delves not only into the subject matter itself, but also into the psychological aspects of perception. Among the themes explored in Wylie's artwork are those of celebrity culture, consumerism, and the nuances of life. The home where she lives plays a significant role in influencing her art, frequently appearing in several of her works. One unique aspect of her process is the incorporation of words into her artwork. Her approach remains refreshingly simple, often using straightforward symbols and phrases to explore complex themes. Starting with detailed drawings, Rose then simplifies them into her paintings. What sets her apart as an artist is her reckless embrace of messiness and chaos, both in her studio and her paintings. She revels in clutter and spontaneity, believing that it fosters a sense of freedom and creativity. This show teaches us to critically engage with contemporary society's messages. Her art emphasizes the importance of freedom and spontaneity in our creative pursuits, reminding us that success can be achieved at any stage of life. In this work, she recalls her childhood during the German Blitz in London. Vivian Suter's artworks are not just to be seen, but to be felt, deciphered, and eventually lost in. The exhibition is a poetic experience inspired by her lush surroundings in Central America. Behind the paintings, there are other paintings waiting to be discovered. The way they're arranged means you can't just see them in one spot. You have to move around, look from different angles, maybe even peek around the sides to fully appreciate them. These large artworks reflect her deep connection to nature and the ever-changing environment. A mudslide after a series of hurricanes once destroyed her work. This event made her appreciate nature even more. She found beauty in how nature unified her work through this catastrophe. Her canvases will often show traces of water, mud, dirt, and vegetation. Known for their bold colors and unique textures, there are a lot of different shapes and patterns on her paintings, yet they remain open to interpretation, allowing viewers to find their own meanings. Vivian creates art with a sense of liberation and spontaneity within her studio space, where her beloved dogs, Tintin, Nina, and Disco, roam freely. Their presence adds an unexpected touch to her canvases as they wander and relax upon them. Vivian lives in Guatemala, in a secluded area on a former coffee plantation far away from city life. Despite living in isolation, she finds fulfillment in her connection with nature, and her arts reflect the environment she lives in. She uses unconventional and inexpensive materials like rainwater and mud, letting nature play a role in creating her paintings. She aims to create a sense of Guatemala in her artwork. She thinks of the canvas like it's alive and always changing. This is different from the usual idea that art should last forever. It shows how art is connected to nature and changes just like nature does. Her growing recognition in the art world can be attributed to her deep respect for nature and her collaborative approach to art making. Vivian's art encourages us to view the world with a sense of awe and respect, even amidst its unpredictable and chaotic aspects. This exhibition celebrates the joy and freedom of being oneself, particularly focusing on the Black experience. The blending of fantasy and reality encourages people to embrace their true selves. Derrick Adams explores themes of joy, inclusion, and rebellion. Drawing inspiration from nostalgia, the depth of memory, and collective history. This work captures the essence of self-adornment and expression, inspired by the window displays of beauty supply stores in his neighborhood. Derrick brings to life the diverse world of beauty and personal expression. Notably, he frequents these beauty supply stores for materials. The artist celebrates the beauty and creativity found within these spaces, highlighting the significance of self-care and the freedom to express oneself. Titled Come As You Are, the exhibition embodies a powerful message of embracing one's true self and aspirations, free from the constraints of societal norms. Derrick employs a diverse array of materials, from acrylic to collaged fabric and wood panels, skillfully infusing his work with color, texture, and symbolism. One of the notable motifs is the portrayal of Black figures in everyday settings, engaging in carefree moments of leisure activities. These depictions challenge stereotypes and redefine perceptions, fostering a more inclusive narrative. He emphasizes the importance of humor, imagination, and fantasy in his artwork to empower and normalize the Black experience. Be the Table embodies themes of equality, access, and inclusion, echoing the famous words of Shirley Chisholm, "If they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair." This painting tells us that individuals possess the ability to carve out their own space and assert their presence without waiting for validation or permission from others. These works incorporate themes of family, leisure, and refreshment. The artist believes moments of relaxation, such as family gatherings and leisure activities, are important for a sense of normalcy. Derrick is a passionate advocate for Black creatives. He actively cultivates spaces and opportunities for artists to showcase their talents and connect with one another. Despite his busy schedule, he prioritizes moments of relaxation as an essential component of his creative process, recognizing its importance for mental health. He seeks to promote this message into the spaces he creates. He founded a space called the Last Resort Artist Retreat, a sanctuary in Baltimore where creatives can find rest, rejuvenation, and inspiration. Derrick reminds us of the beauty in celebrating the carefree and joyful moments in life. As we leave this exhibition, let us not forget to embrace the full spectrum of the Black experience. These paintings by Vanessa Beecroft were presented in her show, The Rules of Non-Engagement, at Jeffrey Deitch. Vanessa is known for her performance art, often described as living installations. If you are not familiar with her work, imagine a live art show where women are the main focus. In these performances, the female body is like a living canvas. Groups of women stand together, either without clothes or dressed in outfits that are all one color, usually similar to skin tones. In this exhibition, Vanessa turned her gaze to painting. These portraits were unfortunately the only ones I can show you, as the other paintings were perhaps too risque for this program. These were originally Polaroid pictures that the artist took of her performers. The gallery states, the portraits hover between the real and the imaginary. It's like looking at a snapshot of a dream. You know it's based on something real, but there's this magical, dreamy feeling to it. The performers appear to be floating somewhere, frozen. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you again.